Hello and welcome back, fellow decoders. I am Sister D, and it is such a great blessing to have you all here with me again on another episode of Decoded. So, for today's episode, we are going to focus on three words: fear no evil. Again, fear no evil. And I really believe the Ruach put that in my spirit because there's so many just different forms of negative news, negative spirits, negative beings around, right? That want to instill fear and fright and terror within the hearts of the saints and the hearts of the believers. But we know that our beloved scriptures say that we shall fear no evil. And so, what I want to do this episode is just encourage and also inform believers and listeners and viewers about what's happening around the world, what's happening in the US, but also that even though we are educated and aware on what's happening, regardless of what the enemy is doing, regardless of what the enemy is implementing, we as children of the Most High Yah are relieved to know, we are reassured that we have a Father that sits up high and looks down low. And so, with that being said, let us not fear anything that the enemy, that Hasatan, is throwing our way, is putting in front of us, right? Because we can do all things through who? Through Christ, which strengthens us. So we see different elements of evil and how the enemy is using his children, his workers of iniquity, to complete his task that he wants the world to follow. One of the first elements that I want to bring up is now considered normal in this weird world, but you guys will see what I'm saying. Take a look.
We have very limited information on this variant under monitoring BA.2.86. Because it's a variant under monitoring, there's active search for this particular sequence around the world. Right now, we know that there are about 42 sequences that have been shared with GISAID from 11 countries. That number will likely change. These have either been detected from patients or they've been detected in wastewater. Given that it has been detected in 11 countries since July, that indicates to us that it is circulating. But this is in the backdrop of three variants of interest, EG.5 and two of the XBB sublineages. EG.5 is about 30% of the sequences that are global. So this variant is not out competing any of the variants of interest right now or other variants that are in circulation. And this is what we're looking out for. So what we're trying to do is look at transmissibility, but we're also looking at immune escape. And there is some preliminary data that's come from three different groups suggestive that the current vaccines and the monovalent XBB will protect against severe disease and death, but the data is quite limited so far. This is why the surveillance is so important, why these studies and the collaborative way in which these studies are being done, and it's being shared with us in real time, but we don't have a completely clear picture. So this is why it's a variant under monitoring. This is why we're tracking it so closely.
Let's see what President Biden has to say regarding the jabs. According to Reuters, Biden administration to urge Americans to get new COVID-19 boosters. It says the Biden administration plans to urge all Americans to get a booster jab for the coronavirus this autumn to counter a new wave of infections, a White House official said on Sunday. The official said that while the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention are reporting an increase in infections and hospital admissions from the virus, overall levels remain low. On Thursday, Moderna said initial data showed its updated COVID-19 jab is effective against the Eris and Fornax subvariants in humans. Interesting. So we see the propagation, the continued propagation, right, and advertisement of the jab. in the United States. And we see that although, as of now, the advertising is not as intense as it was before in previous years, it still exists and pursues and continues. But we must remember to what? Fear no evil. We are comforted and we are encouraged by Psalm 23, verse 4, that says, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." So let us keep that in mind, regardless of what any president is saying, any CDC member is saying. We serve the Elohim, we serve the Most High, who controls everything, who has ultimate power. Now, let's see what else is happening in this land and also around the world, right? So we know that COVID is still occurring, and the leadership that be are still trying to encourage and promote their agenda. But let's see what else is happening.
In just a few hours, NASA will reveal findings from an independent study done last year on UAPs, also known as UFOs. This report will help shed light on the natural origin of UAPs and what possible data NASA can use in the future to collect more information. NASA calls UAPs events in the sky that cannot be identified as an aircraft or known natural phenomena. Now, the news conference starts at 10 a.m. and it comes after Mexico's first public congressional hearing on UAPs, where, look at that, the alleged remains of two non-human beings were revealed. A researcher claims the DNA is not human. The National Autonomous University of Mexico says these mummies are roughly 700 and 1,800 years old.
Now, also according to NPR, U.S. recovered non-human biologics from UFO crash sites, former Intel official says. So, a former Intel official gives more information about the UFO phenomena and the information that he's learned throughout his experience there working with UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, as they call it now. So let's see what he has to say. According to the article, retired Major David Grush, who went from being part of the Pentagon's UAP task force to becoming a whistleblower, told the House Oversight Committee's National Security Subcommittee that he had been denied access to some government UFO programs, but that he knows the quote unquote exact locations of UAPs in U.S. possession. But of course, let us be reminded, let us be strengthened, let us be encouraged, because in Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10, it states, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you, help you, uphold you with my righteous right hand." So, regardless of what the news or the media may say about UAPs and UFOs and aliens and beings from another realm, another world, another land, we know they do not have more power than our Elohim, Yahuwah, the Most High God. So, continuing with understanding a little bit more about what is happening, there has been some rumblings about a specific date, September 23rd. September 23rd. And here is a video giving some background information on that.
Across all media, a bunch of movies, a bunch of TV shows, books, all mention the date September 23rd.
Is there a reason?
I saw a clip from Evan Almighty that September 22nd is supposed to be Doomsday, and it's supposed to leak.
Now, we also know the popular television animated series by the name of The Simpsons often gives some eerily accurate quote unquote predictions, or as those of us who are awake and aware, information about what the wicked elites have planned. And so I'm going to show a clip with hints and notes of the 23rd. Once again, this goes back to, and this traces back to September 23rd. Now, is there anything to this? I don't know. I don't know what the wicked have planned. I just know that their days are numbered. So let's see what the Simpsons have to say.
So? Yeah, so? Dude, The Simpsons done everything already. Who cares?
Just keeping you on your toes, babe. 239 pounds! Oh, I'm a blimp. Why are all the good things so tasty? Oh no! 239 pounds!
You can do it, old boy.
Yes, I can!
Okay. Diddly diddly. Why, that's a higher power than even I believe in. What is going on?
I am proud to honor the players of the Negro Leagues of Rollerball. And as we strive for the desegregation of all death sports, we cannot help but be inspired by... Heads!
All right, so we saw there a snippet of an episode, a few combined episodes of The Simpsons. And as I said before, The Simpsons usually give a sneak peek into what the wicked elites are planning. But regardless of that, regardless of whether something happens on September 23rd of this year or next year or 2 years or in the future, we know that at the end of the day, we as saints must be prepared, not ignorant, aware, and trusting in the Most High, right? Because it is in Him that we move and we have our very being. Now, Psalm chapter 118, verse 6 says, "The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. What can man do unto me?" So, yes, these people may have something planned for September 23rd. Yes, they may try to plan the downfall of, any given society on any given day. But at the end of the day, even if they are given the authority and the power to do that, at the end of the day, they have a judgment to face just like the rest of us. They are yet but mere mortals, flesh and blood. Despite what they may believe, despite what the enemy has told them, they will not live on forever in flesh form. They will have to suffer judgment, and they will have to suffer an answer for their demonic actions that they participated in while they were in these bodies. And so, as long as we continue to walk in the ways and the path of the Most High, as long as we keep our focus on Him and keep our eyes and our hearts on Him, and remember that He is the one that sees all and guides our various footsteps, we have nothing to fear. Okay, the Most High is not the author of that. That is an emotion that has been used to bring terror to the Most High's children. And as believers, as saved saints, we must not allow the enemy to distort or use that emotion in that manner against us. So let's continue on with some more scriptures and information. Psalm chapter 27, verse 1 says, "The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid?" So just keep that in mind. We shall have no fear. May you remain encouraged. Keep up the good fight. Hopefully, these verses have been encouraging and motivational for you and to you. And just remember to what? Fear no evil. Until the next time, y'all bless.